Petra, you're back at Mom and Dad's house again? Next week I'm planning on having Pat come over so that I can introduce him to everyone there. So, Petra, you are really getting in my way by being at their house right now. Hurry up and get out of that house for good. And I am trying. I would really like to be out of this house as soon as possible right now, and I'm planning on being gone soon. But of course, there are still some things I'm not quite over just yet. Not over what? This isn't just about the fact that you went and stole my fiancé from me like that, but the fact that you went and made it sound like I was the one trying to steal him from you all this time. Now I'm totally pissed off about that and can't just let things go anymore. Well, listen here, Petra. I have every right to blame the person in the wrong for doing something wrong, right? You tried to steal Pat from me, you freak! Lacey, your English is getting worse day by day. And your head is getting worse day by day, you idiot! You really do have to get over all this. It was Pat that started to like me more than you, so there's nothing you can do to fight that, okay? Also, Pat's already told me he's never going to marry you now, since you tried to steal him away from my arms. So this isn't all just you saying that I'm the one who was trying to steal Pat from you? He himself is lying about what happened to paint me is the problem. This is just like that time you threw yourself down the stairs and then started blaming me for pushing you, even though I was in the kitchen on the first floor of our house. But you did push me! And I'll have you know that I sprained my ankle really badly because of that. And that's on you for being a complete imbecile and falling down the stairs. You were just lucky that Mom and Dad weren't home to see it, making them believe you when you showed them the sprain and blamed me. There were already some red flags being raised after both Mom and Dad believed what you were saying over me, when you had no evidence, but are you kidding me? Now you've gotten Pat playing along with your lies and are blaming me once again for something I have never done? Well, I also told him about what you did to me then as well, and he told me he never thought of you as such a bully. And that's why he ended up falling in love with me. And now that he loves me so much that he wants to marry me, he's never going to doubt that moment again, and will always play along with my lies. See, now that you've even heard it from me, you get it, right? You don't have any friends in this family anymore, so hurry up and get out of Mom and Dad's house for me. Make sure to never come back around us again. Alright then, I guess this is it for me then. I'm changing my plans. I'm going to leave this house today. Thank God. After seeing how you've acted, even now while we've texted, I finally understand it all. Everyone in this house will only believe what you tell them, no matter how frickin' insane and baseless it is. Which must mean that both Mom and Dad are completely nuts. Huh? What the heck did you just say? Are you stupid? I don't really care anymore about what I say. I'm already on my way out of this house now, so I feel that I can say whatever I want about you guys, because I'll never see any one of you again, right? I'm going to start packing all my things up now, so leave me alone. Hey, you still aren't out of the house yet? I've just finished up talking with a realtor about signing a lease for an apartment and planning out how I'm going to move all my things there. Well, who cares about that? All of the things you have are worthless to the rest of us, so they can just all go in the trash. Just throw it all in the back of your car or something and get lost. Anything you can't fit, we'll gladly throw away for you. You're right, actually. I'm only gathering the most valuable things to me, and the rest I'll be getting rid of. But it's not like I have much left anyway, because there was always someone going into my room and always stealing my things from me without ever asking. Huh? I never stole any of those things, though. I was just taking them from you. It's your fault for always buying such nice clothing and bags and jewelry that would look way better on a beauty like me. I only said someone was stealing all of my things, Lacey. I never said that it was you that was doing all of it. What? I see. So you really have been the one stealing all my things then. What the hell? You're being a total witch. Just get out of this house already. And I'm on my way out of here right now. Is that right? Well, thank frickin' God for that. Now the final piece of annoying garbage is out of my sight. Ah, that's right. I've been blocked by Pat already, so I have something I'd like for you to relay to him. What is it? Tell him that if I don't get my $3,000 back from him that I lent him by the middle of this month, I'm going to have a problem. Huh? $3,000? He already knows where to send the money to, so all you have to do is tell him that and he'll be able to handle the rest. If he doesn't know what to do, then tell him to unblock me so that he and I can talk about this like adults. And I can explain to him again what needs to happen. What are you going on about? You're telling me that the Pat I'm engaged to, the one who happens to work for a very large company and makes lots of money there, had to borrow money from some loser like you? No freaking way that's a thing. There happens to be an IOU that we both signed proving this is true, though. No way, no way, no way! If you don't want to believe me, then that's totally fine. I just want you to go ahead and tell him all of this for me. If you'd like to hear the reason for why he had to borrow money from me in the first place, then go and ask him about it. There is just no way any of that is true. Can you please quit trying to make me laugh at this stupid joke of yours? I'm not going back to that house anymore, just so you know. So this is goodbye forever then. Petra, I have some super happy news for you. I was just proposed to by Pat. And of course we all know what my answer was, right? It was a yes. We were on an evening walk out at the city center park, and there he got down on one knee, whipped out a beautiful ring, and asked for me to be his wife. It was the most romantic setting for me, and I just couldn't help but come to you with this amazing news. Is that so? Congratulations. And when it comes to our wedding, Pat has told me that at the very least, it's going to cost $50,000. Really? I never expected that you both would be putting $50,000 toward a wedding. I'm sure you are oh so jealous of me right now. I'm wondering how you're going to come across that kind of money. Huh? Listen here, miss. Just because someone like Pat had to borrow a measly $3,000 from you before, doesn't mean you get to start acting like he doesn't have the money for this wedding. Would you please stop it with that now? After I went to him about all that, he said he paid you right back in 2 days. Ah, you're talking about that. I'm very thankful that you were able to go to him and relay what I wanted you to say, without screwing it all up or forgetting about it. Thank you. He told me that during that phase, he was just asking you for a little money to help him cover some simple costs. And that's the only reason he asked for that small amount from you. So don't get such a big head over that instance. That's not what I was planning for you to think when I thought about your guys' financial situations. So, was the only reason for you coming back to me after months of no communication whatsoever just for you to brag to me about how you were able to say yes to his proposal? Huh? I'm just thinking that none of this has to do with you wanting to invite me to that wedding or anything you just spoke of. Of course I'm going to invite you to it. I wasn't just going to start the conversation with me telling you the date and location of the wedding. I had to lead into that by telling you what good news I had and about how the wedding will be. You don't have to tell me about all of that stuff, all right? I don't plan on coming anyway. We'll see about that. So is that all you wanted from me then? Huh? I really want to get back to work now. Wait, today is a holiday, you idiot. You think I'm going to believe that you still have to work? You must really be in need of money right now if you're having to work during a holiday. I happened to change my career, and that ended up with me having to change my schedule around, where I only have to work on the weekends and sometimes on holidays and during the week. What? You changed your job? And because of me changing my career and job, I am now making a whole lot more money than I was before. What? Really? So? Huh? I don't think you have anything else to say to me then, so I'll be getting back to work now. Petra? Petra, please! What the heck do you want from me? I'm in the middle of some very important work, okay? I need some money from you as a celebration for my wedding. Huh? Is your wedding coming up really soon then? It'll be next week on Sunday. So please give me some money to celebrate my marriage. I'm sure you can give me $50,000, right? Excuse me? Are you being serious right now? You want me to give you $50,000 as a present? You're my older sister, right? I think with you as my older sister, you should be more than happy to fork that kind of money over to me as a present for my special day. Come on now, Lacey. Just tell me what's really going on with you now. I know that you can't pay for your wedding now, and you want my money to pay for it. You guys don't have any money, right? You've only ever worked as a part-timer for a couple of stores and only ever brought in a couple $100s per month, right? So there was never enough income for you to save any of it. That's why, for a little while, you've had mom and dad giving you an allowance in order to have a little bit more money, right? And since you got those two to jump on your bandwagon and hand you money like that all the time, they now don't have any money for themselves to support them as they both try and retire happily. When it comes to Pat, he's working for a very large company, but only as a temporary employee, right? You knew about that? Well, you have to understand that I was really planning to marry that man at one point. And now the reason for why you are freaking out so much right now is because you happened to find out that the man you want to marry is making less than a full-time employee there. And that's really shocked you to your core. Do you know why I had to lend him $3,000 before? That's because while in between jobs, he didn't have the money to pay rent and for food. So I said he could borrow from me as long as he paid me back. And when he paid all that back to me in one payment, he must have borrowed money from somewhere else to make that work, right? That was, he may have said something about that before to me. So when it comes to you having to pay for that wedding, you must have thought he was going to be the one paying for all of it, right? And as for Pat, he thought that since you were always getting money from mom and dad, that it would be the same case here and that they'd pay for your wedding. Am I right about all this? But I had thought that Pat was full-time, long-term employee for that company, so I assumed he could afford everything. And by the way, why the hell do you know about all of this, Petra? I never knew a thing about any of this before, yet you knew all along? He and I have talked about all of this before when we were dating. And we both have friends that I'm able to hear things from. Also, when it came to him proposing to me and the two of us becoming engaged, He promised me that he would get a full-time, long-term job by the time we got married. But that was all before you came in and stole him from me. If you knew about all of this, then why didn't you tell me? I only stole him from you because I thought he'd be making all this money and I'd never have to work a day in my life again. This is a scam. You scammed me. He's not at all what you advertised to me. He's not even rich enough to pay for a simple wedding to celebrate our marriage. You thought I had any reason to tell you any of that? Huh? The fact that you both didn't talk about all of this before talking about marriage is on you two. Had you actually sat down with him and talked finances and work, he might have told you more about who he really is and what state his bank accounts are in. Also, you were the one that chose to steal him from me, so I just assumed you knew about the kind of trash he is. So why tell you something when you should have already known? But... Also, just after that, you started to blame me for being the one to try and steal him from you before you ran out of the house to him. So I had no way to tell you who he was even. But listen! And just know that I am not going to give you $50,000 as a present, all right? What? I'm sorry, but I'm not that rich where I could just whip that kind of money out and give it to someone who isn't deserving of it. Well, I'm asking you to please do something. This has already caused a lot of problems, and so the wedding is being canceled. But the wedding planner has told me I have between now and next weekend to pay them back the cancellation fee. And I don't have the money to do that. Please just give me whatever money you have right now, Petra. Your cute little sister is in a really tough place right now. You're my older sister. After that, Lacey, Pat, and both of my parents started to call my phone over and over and over. And not just calls, but a bunch of text messages and things like that as well started to come. Lacey would tell me every time that she had no money and then would say horrible things to me. Pat would tell me that he has no money and then ask for the both of us to get back together again. Both my parents would tell me they have no money and that they wanted me to come back home to live with them. I get that I was able to find a better paying job and all, but I do not make the kind of money where I can pay for all these freaks. Anyway, all those calls and texts from me was driving me up the wall. So I went and changed my phone number. When talking to a person I know who lives in the house next to them, they told me that the whole story about how Lacey had really stolen Pat from me slipped out. And then all of their friends and family began to stop talking to them. And I guess that meant I was the only person left for them to rely on. When it came to that wedding's cancellation fee, it turns out that they were able to settle it by paying it off in half-year increments. But even with that, my parents had to end up selling their house. And then they all moved out of their house to a smaller apartment, where they would fight one another all the time and cause all kinds of noise complaints. It'll only be a matter of time before they get kicked out of the apartment and are forced to live on the street.
I heard the news. You're gonna quit your job and start your own business, right? How's it going? Yeah, didn't I tell you about it? Hey, who do you think you are? Huh? What? Do you think you're skilled enough? I'm surely better than you. But you're starting your own business before me? What are you thinking? What are you talking about? Don't act stupid. My manager told me that you're starting your own restaurant. I'm not acting stupid or anything. I guess you're misunderstanding something. I've been working with you for 5 years. But I had been working there before you got in. I've been trained longer than you. I totally thought I was going to be the first one to start my restaurant. Uh-huh. I wasn't even competing with you at all. So what's so wrong with it? You're skilled too, Nate. I think you can do it. Huh? Why are you talking like you're above me? You seem to be very cocky now that you've got your own restaurant. I didn't mean it like that. Are you even hearing what I'm saying? Of course, I want to have my own restaurant. But you're starting your own before me. You're totally picking a fight with me. It's true that I've finally made my dream come true. But you're misunderstanding. I'm not trying to be someone here. Did you properly hear about it from the manager? I've dreamt of that moment too. Because of you, I couldn't get a chance to become a head chef. I'm surely better than you. I've trained longer than you. Why am I still in charge of the desserts? Even an amateur can make them. That's not true. They let you do it because you're good at it. On top of that, dessert is our selling point. So I'm sure you can be proud of yourself. I'm saying that way of talking is cocky. You don't even know anything about me. How would I know? But since I'm quitting, if you want to become head chef, why don't you just go ahead and tell the manager that's what you want? Complaining to me doesn't change anything. Where's your restaurant at? Huh? What? The location. Where's it gonna be? I'm planning on renting a place near the station. What does that have to do with this right now? Do you want a watch or something? A watch? What are you talking about? A place near the station, huh? You think you're so much better than me. I can't stand it. You're doing something I've always wanted to do. You've been annoying for all these 5 years. But now you're the worst. What are you saying? You don't have any right to say that. You're surely gonna fail. Your restaurant will instantly be out of business. I guarantee it. Can't you at least be happy for me? I'm working hard on it. I'm about to get it started. I've been engaging myself in the world of French cuisine for over 10 years. Only a few people out there can succeed. You probably aren't one of those people. Look, man, you're being disrespectful. I just want to resurrect my grandpa's shop again. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I didn't know your grandpa also had a restaurant. You don't even know anything about me. Why are you suddenly picking on me? If you're jealous, why don't you go start your own restaurant? I wouldn't wish for you to fail. Jealous? There's no way I'm jealous. I know you're gonna fail and be in debt in the future. I'll be waiting for that day to come. You're the worst. You've completely ruined your reputation with me. You don't even have to come to my shop. I'm not letting you know when I'm starting. You don't have to. I won't go anyway. I won't ever eat food made by someone like you. I was eating your staff meal, but it always tasted like trash. Like I said, I won't ever serve you a meal. Good for you. Now you don't have to eat my bad food. Alright, don't pick on me ever again. I just want to spend the rest of my time here peacefully. You're starting today, right? But I don't think anybody's coming today. It's gonna suck because nobody's coming on your first day. Huh? Nate? It's been a while. What's up all of a sudden? It's true it's my first day today, but how did you know that? I didn't tell you. I thought I should surprise you on your first day. Well, thank you so much for it, but that was completely unwanted. There's a reservation for 80 people today, right? Huh? What? What if it gets canceled on the first day? What are you saying? You were working for a famous French restaurant, so you might get some customers. But I won't let you succeed, sucker. Seriously, what are you talking about? A reservation for 80 people? I just couldn't forgive you for doing what I've always wanted to do. So I made a reservation today at 7 p.m. But I'm gonna cancel it. How do you feel now? There's no way 80 people were gonna be there tonight anyway. Yeah, I run a watch store. What? What are you talking about a reservation? My shop has been open since the morning today, and I've already closed it for the day. What are you saying? What? You're running a French restaurant. Weren't you supposed to start it near the station? I never said I was gonna open a French restaurant. What? Dude, you were just assuming that I was gonna start a restaurant, right? Did you hear that from someone? How? What? You've been working at a French restaurant for the past 5 years. Starting your own business has gotta be opening your own restaurant, right? I realized I wanted to move on to something else. So I wanted to quit it quick, but I had no specific reasons for it. But then my grandpa passed away. When I was a kid, my grandpa used to repair watches, which I thought was pretty impressive. I liked to copy him, and sometimes he complimented me. What are you talking about? He closed his shop because he was in the hospital. It was vacant until now. I've been saving up until now, so I purchased it and decided to start it up again. I don't understand. Like I said, you don't know anything about me. But you regarded me as your rival? You just assumed things. I'm in fact a watch shop owner now. There's no restaurant. There's no way I can succeed in the world of French cuisine. I've never even been a manager or a head chef. You're right, but I'm not that dumb. I'm not even that passionate about it. I was just following the head chef's orders. I was always wondering why you regarded me as your rival. I totally thought you were trying to be a head chef like me. No, I wasn't. By the way, are you all right with your reservation? Huh? I don't know where you made that reservation, but if I'm not mistaken, you made a reservation for 80 people at someone else's restaurant, right? Oh no. Why don't you contact them and confirm it? There was a restaurant that was open today, coincidentally. Moreover, it said the head chef used to work at a famous French restaurant. I totally thought that was you. The chef's name was also Michael, I believe. Well, sorry for having a common name. Dude, if you made that reservation at the new one on top of the building near the station, you're done. What? I'm pretty sure it's owned by some famous TV chef or someone. Who knows what they'll do to you? I've been getting a phone call from someone I don't know. But it could be from the restaurant. Hey, if they're giving you a call, why don't you answer it? Are you trying to run away? You know that's a crime, right? You're gonna cause a lot of trouble for their business. I know. Shut up, man. Holy crap, I made the reservation online, so they know my personal information. That means I got nowhere to run. They said I have to pay for all the services. What? I made the reservation for the $200 full course dinner for 80 people. What should I do? Oh my god. I can't stop laughing. How did this happen? It's your fault. You said you were starting your own business. You confused me. There's no way I can pay for this. Man, I can't do anything about it. I guess you just have to explain the situation to them and apologize. I don't think they're gonna forgive you, though. Still, better than doing nothing. I'm screwed, man. There's no way I can pay for it. You're the one who caused it, so you better help pay for it. I'm begging you. I won't pay for you. I'm not responsible for that. You just assumed things and did everything yourself. You got no choice but to pay for it, huh? I think your boss also has a connection with them as well. If they got to know that, you'd be in big trouble, right? Huh? With my boss? Of course. They're both pretty famous. It's gonna be a problem for sure. What should I do? I can't pay $16,000. I don't have that much money. Well, to be honest, it's all your fault. What? It's my fault? Of course it is. You were just jealous and trying to make me fail. You did everything just to annoy me, right? Then it's all your fault. If you learned your lesson, why don't you stop doing dumb things like this? Well, it's too late now. Wait a sec, I'll seriously be in big trouble. Give me a hand. I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about it. I've already quit the restaurant. I'm now just a watch shop owner. Too bad for you, huh? That you couldn't trick me. Tell me how it goes. Nathan went there to apologize in person, but he had to pay compensation. He couldn't pay for it with his savings, so he had to go into debt. On top of that, his boss found out about everything, and he got fired. He now has no job and is in debt. He finally learned his lesson. On the other hand, Michael is living a peaceful life as a watch shop owner in the town.